And we are rolling. What's up, guys? Welcome to Unlimited Freedom. This is Vaughn with Unlimited Freedom, guys. And today we're going to be breaking into breaking news story and going over a couple things that might impact our space. And just want to kind of go over it with you, bring some clarity, and put things in layman's terms. Before I do that, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor, okay? I'm just a guy who comes on here. I talk about what I'm doing in a lot of different areas. Talk about my journey, talk about my story. I deal with cryptocurrency. I deal with crypto programs, crypto platforms. I talk about the stock market. I talk about real estate. I talk about Forex trading, high-frequency Forex, and other things, right? There's a lot going on at this channel, guys. There's a lot going on here at the Unlimited Freedom channel, okay? Now, what I want to go ahead and do is I want to talk to you today about the fact that over the weekend, in the past 48 hours, two major U.S. banks have collapsed. Okay, and these are these are banks. I mean, one of them is has already been seized, right, by the government. And I want to talk about that. I want to also talk about how that impacts potentially us, right? And what that could mean for our space, and what that could mean for the immediate future, and then also, going into the more long term. Now, the main thing, the first thing that I want to get across here, guys, is that I have lived through, financial crises before. Financial crises. It's a crisis. But I've lived through them before, right? I've lived through the one that happened back in the 80s. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Okay. So I've experienced these things before. I lived through the one that happened back in the 80s. I lived through the one that happened, it was at the end of the 90s with the dot-com bubble burst. Basically, there was a bunch of .com websites that came out. The internet was really starting to pick up at that time, and it expanded and expanded and expanded, and at some point it had to burst, right? This .com economy had to burst, and that happened at the end of the 90s. Then I also lived through the housing crisis in 2008, where the banks were bailed out by the government, and now it looks like we've got a similar thing right around the corner. Okay, and I want to take a minute to kind of give you my posture on it and explain something important, guys. And that is, these times make millionaires and they make people lose millions. So what do I mean by that? When we have a major financial situation, the stock market usually drops, right? The price of things usually drop. It goes down. We know that crypto crypto's crazy. It's down and up, down and up. But the point is, when things like this happen, prices usually drop, right? And so the people who had ownership in these things, they lose money, and then they jump out because they're afraid to lose more money, right? And that's the worst possible thing you can do. Now, I look at these things as the clearance rack. Everything is going on sale. When we have a financial crisis, everything is going on sale. For me, I'm not selling my stocks, okay? Because I've got stocks in the S&P 500, right? I've got stocks in O, which is a realty stock. I've got some covered call ETFs, and I'm not going to sell my stocks because even if they go down, I know they're just going to go back up. And, I don't need that money right now. I don't need to liquidate it. So if it drops and tumbles, I'll just wait for it to go back up, right? Because the S&P 500, for example, that represents the entire economy, not just of America, but also really the world. I mean, this is the top 500 companies. So they're not going to go away just like that because at the end of the day, people aren't going to. The thing with money and banks and all this stuff is that there are real people, puppet masters holding the strings to these things behind the scenes. Okay, so somebody's at the control panel. And the people at the control panel are not going to let the whole economy just go into meltdown. So it might go down for a while, right? But it's going to come back up, and that's why I've chosen not to sell any stocks right now. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it, knowing full well that we could be in for a crash. But what goes down always comes back up, guys. And so I know that, my investments are sound. I would be worried if I had like just a bunch of shares in some random tech company or something like that. I wouldn't want to do that. If you do that, I would think about getting out, or just getting some better diversification. Let's get into this, guys. This is from thestreet.com. Okay, so shout out to thestreet.com. This is where I'm getting this information. 2 U.S. banks collapse in 48 hours. Which one's next? Silvergate served the cryptocurrency industry, while SVB was the bank for Silicon Valley tech startups. It's a black week for the American financial system. In just 48 hours, the banking sector has been shaken by the collapse of 2 major banks. So that's the collapse of 2 major banks. Most worrying is that these banks serve so-called growth economic sectors, the tech sector and the cryptocurrency industry. SVB Financial Group, the lender to Silicon Valley startups, failed on March 10th, falling into the hands of the FDIC. That's all bad. You never want to fall into the hands of the FDIC, okay? The federal agency has taken control of the banking company, reviving the ghosts of the 2008 financial crisis. Guys, with change comes opportunity. In the 2008 financial crisis, if I could rewind time, I would have bought up a bunch of real estate because it was so inexpensive. And then it just went up and up and up. And it really made millionaires, guys. So don't think of this as a crash. Think of it as a sale, okay? That's how to be smart about it. All insured depositors will have full access to their insured deposits no later than Monday morning, March 13th, 2023. That's not entirely true, guys. The FDIC insures people's assets up to $250,000, but if they had more than $250,000 in that bank, they're going to be in trouble. Okay. SVB was the go-to bank for tech startups. So the end of last year, SVB had $209 billion in total assets and $175 billion in total deposits. SVB becomes the second biggest failure of a U.S. bank after Washington Mutual back in 2008. SVB was a central player in the innovation economy. It was the backbone of tech industry in Silicon Valley. It played an important role in a startup ecosystem, providing specialized financial services, industry expertise, a valuable network, and a strong reputation. Okay, let me translate that into English for you guys, okay? Basically what they did was they gave loans, and they were very liberal in helping out tech startups, okay? So tech startup companies in Silicon Valley, hoping, gambling, and betting that maybe they would find the next big thing, okay? So that's what that means. SVB had to sell bonds, primarily U.S. Treasury securities, at a discount to cover these withdrawals. The rise in interest rates has made existing bonds less valuable. In selling these bond positions, SVB had to take a significant loss. Okay, so basically, instead of waiting for the bonds to mature, they had to sell the bonds early and lost money, and that's just like, for example, with the Novatech company, you had people trying to pull all their money out at once, and if those dollars were, if that crypto was tied up in trades that had not yet become profitable, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell the trades at a loss, right? Are you going to lose all your money just to pay back, the people who are requesting cash out? So that's the position. That's what a lot of people don't see behind the scenes to see that's the position that they're in. SVB, okay, crypto, its attempt, so it tried at the last minute to raise $2.225 billion. The attempt failed. Crypto bank Silvergate also collapsed, guys. 2 days earlier, I should say, Silvergate, the crypto bank, collapsed. The bank was where most of the big crypto firms went because traditional banks did not want to do business with them, okay? And the reluctance stemmed from warnings from regulators who consider crypto industry a risky sector, guys, okay? Basically, the regulators think that the crypto industry is just a big drug money laundering, criminal organization, right? They don't trust it. They want to regulate it. And basically, they want to know what you're doing with your money. The way that it was, with cryptocurrency, it's harder for them to track, and they want to track you. Okay? It's harder for them to know what you're doing with your transactions, and they want to know what you're doing with your transactions. If you have money in a crypto account, like a decentralized wallet, it's harder for them to seize that money. If you have money in a bank, they can take your money anytime for any reason, shut down your bank account, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Right? They're in complete control. And cryptocurrency represents a loss of control. And they cannot handle that thought. So more regulation is coming, guys. Okay. Let's see. Verging on bigger fall than 2008. This is just this is an economist's estimation. It doesn't mean that that's exactly what's going to happen, guys. We don't know the full extent of the crisis yet. I think we're going to see it in the next coming days. Like I said, stocks are probably going to drop. Things are going to go down, and that is a sale. And you want to wait until they go all the way down and then buy up as much as you can. So when it goes back up, you bought low, and then it went back up, and now you really capitalize on that. So that's what's going on with these two banks collapsing. How would that affect any of the crypto programs that we're in? It's not going to affect it much, guys. Okay, because when you're talking about a crypto trading platform, the thing about trading, guys, when you're trading crypto or when you're trading Forex is you're speculating on the next move. So if you speculate that it's going to go up, you can make money. Also, if you speculate that it's going to go down, you can also make money. So you can make money whether it's going up or whether it's going down. That's why I don't think that unless the traders are just complete idiots, right? I don't think that that it's going to affect the crypto platforms that are tied to that type of trading. As far as cryptocurrency in general, I don't really hold cryptocurrencies. I use crypto as a means to an end. So, for example, when I get my USDT from crypto program, well, I will take that USDT and I'll convert it over to cash and put it in the bank account. Put it in my bank account. You know what I mean? Or I'll take that cash and put it in the stock market, or I'll buy an investment, or I'll put it back into the crypto program, right, to make more. But I don't actually hold like Bitcoin and things like that, expecting it to go up in the long run. I'm not really into that. What I'm into is growing it and, cashing it out once there's a profit. You got to withdraw early and you got to withdraw often, right? That's part of risk management. You got to make sure that you're locking in your profits. You got to make sure that you're locking in your seed money. The first thing you want to do is you want to make your seed money back, right? So if you put in 500, the first order of business is to make that 500 back. So now you're playing with house money, right? And then right, it's all gravy, right? And then as you're getting profits, man, pull some of those profits out, right? Lock in some of those profits. Don't just leave everything in there, right? That's not how you do it, guys. So, I'll be giving you more updates on this later. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I release a new video. So, this is a quick update on the 2 U.S. banks that have collapsed in the last 48 hours, okay? More to come, guys. Take care.